Hi, and welcome to Carly Asana. Today we are going to need a couple props. So if you have something, grab a couple pillows, maybe a rolled up blanket. If you don't have anything that you can use, don't worry, you can still participate in the practice just fine. If you're grabbing pillows, try to grab two that are about the same width and firmness. And just set those aside so they're easily accessible later in the class. When you're ready to begin, we will start in a comfortable seat at the top of the mat. You can have your legs crossed, sitting on your knees, whatever is the most comfortable and centering and grounding for you. So take a few moments to gather your supplies, get into a comfortable seat. Begin to close your eyes and take some deep inhales and long, slow exhales. As you inhale, draw your awareness through the skin, deep into the body. As you exhale, release the awareness of your thoughts and anything going on outside your yoga space. As you breathe, begin to deepen the breaths full into the belly. And exhaling as much as you can, a few seconds longer than each inhale. Together, we'll take a deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Blink open the eyes. We'll begin with some shoulder rolls, shrugging the shoulders up towards the ears and exhaling down the back. Inhaling up, exhale down the back. And begin to link each movement with your breath. So you can slow down the rolls or increase the speed of them to match the breath rate. Eventually, you want to begin to slow that breath rate down. Filling up deeper into the belly each time. And extending your exhales a little bit longer each round of breath out through the nose. Inhale the shoulders up towards the ears. Hold it for just a second. Exhale, release it down. Press the shoulders down. Press the elbows down. Lift up through the spine and release. Inhale to lengthen again through the spine. Exhale, drop the head to one side, bringing the ear to the shoulder and finding a little spot of tension somewhere along that neck and shoulder line. When you found that spot, just sit and breathe. Imagine you can send your breath to that spot of tension. Relax the jaw, relax the face. Let the breath do the work. Take a couple more deep inhales and slow exhales. On your next inhale, lift the chin, bringing the head back to center. And then gently drop the opposite ear to the other side, finding a stretch in the other side of the neck. And breathing in, and slow exhale out. Continuing to allow that breath to center your awareness. Releasing all distractions on your exhales. Inhale the head back to center and sweep the arms up overhead. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring the hands down. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, twist to one side, bringing the hands to the opposite knee, the back arm behind you to prop yourself up. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. Exhale, twist to look over your back shoulder. Deep breath into the belly. Exhale, slow through the nose, over the shoulder. 2 more rounds of breath here. When you're ready to release, inhale, bring the arms up, lengthen. And exhale, fold over the legs, sending the hips back, reaching the hands in front of you, lower the forehead. One more lengthening inhale, melting exhale forward. And then inhale from rolling from the base of the spine, roll yourself up to sit. Bring the arms up with you. Inhale at the top, exhale, bring the hands down. We'll switch the crossing of the legs here if you're sitting cross-legged. So put the opposite foot in front. We'll take that twist and fold to the other side. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Press the hips down through the mat. Reach up with the fingers, relax the shoulders. And exhale, twist to the other side, bringing your hand to the opposite shoulder. Hand behind you, props yourself up, lengthen through the spine. Inhale. Exhale, twist, gaze over your back shoulder. Find your deep breaths in. And slow exhales out. One more inhale, stay for the exhale. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold over the legs, bringing the hands all the way to the mat. Press the hips back, lengthen through the spine, release the head and the neck, let everything hang heavy. And then begin to roll from the base of the spine, beginning to sit up, taking your time, dragging the fingertips towards the legs. Inhale, another roll of the shoulders. And extend the arms out wide, reaching through the fingertips. On an inhale, press the arms back, reaching the heart forward, gazing up just slightly. And then exhale, curl the spine, press the shoulder blades towards the back of the room as you bring your palms together in front of you. Inhale to open, spreading the wings wide, pressing the backs of the hands towards each other. Exhale, curl it in, palms together in front. A couple more times, moving with your breath, inhaling, lifting and opening. Exhaling, bringing the hands together, pressing the back of the heart towards the back of the room. Take a couple more rounds with your own breath rhythm. Squeezing the shoulder blades back when you're opening. Pressing the hands forward on the exhale. One more time, big opening. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, press the hands back. Inhale to close. Bring the palms to heart center. Sitting up straight, relaxing the shoulders down the back. And then exhale, bring your hands to the mat in front of you and find tabletop, hands and knees. Your fingertips should be spread wide, hands directly under your shoulders and knees directly under your hips. Extend the right leg back, top of the toes. And then drag those toes over the right side, finding a hip opener. So your right foot is next to your mat. You want your foot flat. As you're there, exhale, send the hips back, finding a stretch on the inner side of the leg. Only go as far as you can without pain, where it's that feel-good stretch. So shifting the hips back, finding the stretch in the inner right leg. Inhale back to tabletop. Draw that right foot all the way back, creating a circle, and cross it over the back left leg. Prop yourself up on your toes. You'll begin to feel stretch in that right front hip. Exhale, press into that hip as you gaze over your left shoulder, finding that left hip stretch, side body stretch, gazing back at your left toes. Press it in. Exhale, long and slow. One more breath here. Inhale, bring that right foot back to center, bringing the right knee with it. We'll switch sides, extend that left leg back, toes tucked on the top of the mat. And then creating a half circle, draw that left foot and that left leg over the left side next to you. Flatten that left foot on the mat. On an exhale, shift the hips back, finding the stretch on the inner side of that left leg. Press the knife edge of the left foot down into the earth. Deep breaths in. Take your time on the exhale. Inhale back to center. And then take that left foot all the way around, swing it back behind you until it crosses over that right foot. Press into that heel, finding the stretch in the left hip, and then curve in, looking over your right shoulder towards that back right toes. Breathe into that left side body. If you're not feeling the stretch, just move around a little bit. Find where it feels good, where you can send the inhale to any areas of tension. One more breath here. And then draw that foot back to center, coming back to tabletop. Take a round of cat and cow. So inhaling, dropping the belly, lifting the chin, pressing the tailbone towards the back of the head. This is your inhale. Exhale to cat. Like a little angry cat, pressing the spine up towards the sky, pressing the earth away, curling in, gaze towards your belly button. Inhaling to cow. Taking your exhale to cat. Spend a few rounds of breath here. Exaggerate the breath. Press it out through the nose. You should be able to hear yourself breathing. And then coming back to neutral spine, we're going to shift the hips over the heels, finding child's pose. Reach the fingertips forward, lower the forehead to the mat. 3 rounds of breath here. Use this time to focus in on the breath. Draw your awareness fully to the body on the mat, the breath coming in and out of the body, allowing yourself to really drop into the practice today. And deep breaths in, pressing the belly against the thighs. Maybe an exhale out through the mouth. Then begin to focus the breath towards the upper back, so the back of the heart space between the shoulder blades. Inhaling there, feeling that area expand on the inhale and release on the exhale. On your next inhale, focus that breath towards the middle of the back. See if you can expand that center portion of the spine on your inhale. Exhaling it out. And then bringing the focus to the low back, sending a big belly breath, expanding out through the lowest part of the spine towards the tailbone. Exhaling it out. Inhale back to tabletop, hands and knees. Walk the knees back a little bit. We're going to lower all the way to our belly, keeping the arms straight. You may need to widen your legs a little bit. And bring your hands directly under your shoulders, making our way to upward facing dog, which we may revisit this pose. If this is too much for you, you can stay in your child's pose. You can lower all the way to your belly, or you can take cobra by lowering your chest to the mat, bringing the hands next to the chest. If you're taking that up dog pose, press the spine, or lengthen through the spine, press the hips into the mat. Walk the hands in line with the shoulders. Open the heart, look straight ahead, breathe. Press the tops of the feet into the mat and maybe lifting the thighs. This is your full upward facing dog. Lower the knees back to the mat. Begin to slowly curl the spine back to tabletop. Shifting back to child's pose, 2 breaths here. Deep breath in, cleansing breath out through the mouth. Begin to tuck your toes, preparing for downward facing dog. Spreading the toes wide, pressing the hips back. Imagine you can pull that mat forward. You're pressing the mat forward away from you. As you inhale, lift the knees just a couple inches off the mat. Exhale, lower. On your next inhale, lift the knees, send the hips back. Begin to lift a little bit higher. Exhale, back down. And then finally to downward facing dog, take your time. Fingertips spread wide. Press the mat away from you. Inhale, lift the knees. Send the hips back. And then lifting the tailbone, begin to lengthen through the backs of the legs, but keeping a slight bend in the knees if you need it. Your tailbone should be the top part of the triangle of your downward dog. Begin to pedal out the feet by bending one knee and lengthening the opposite leg. Keep returning to that breath. Linking each movement with the inhale and the exhale. And then look between your hands and tiptoe towards the top of the mat, finding your forward fold. Heel toe the feet about hips width distance apart. Grab either elbow and allow the head and upper body to hang heavy, relaxing the upper body over the lower body, maybe taking a gentle sway left and right. See if you can find some weightlessness in the head, maybe a low back release. Firm through the legs, relaxed in the shoulders and the arms. This distance for a little bit more stability. Inhale, halfway lift. Draw your shoulders down your back. Lift the hands to the shins or the thighs, wherever you need to create that straight spine. Knees can be slightly bent again here. We don't want to lock out the joints. Slight little bend in the knees. Long, straight back, relaxed shoulders, look straight down. One more breath in. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, allow the belly to reach the thighs. Head relaxes down. And then pressing the feet into the mat, bending at the knees, slow motion, roll up to stand. As slow as you can go. Taking your time, roll the shoulders down the back. Slowly lift the head, lift the gaze. Finding mountain pose. Palms facing forward. Feet pressing into the mat. Soften the face. Spend a few breaths here. Find your focus. And when you're ready, inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinging at the hips. Send the hips back as you dive forward, chest over thighs, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shins or your thighs, long, straight spine. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to plant your hands and step your feet back to top of a plank or top of a push-up, plank pose. And anytime you can lower your knees if you need to. 2 more breaths here. Press the earth away. Straight line from your shoulders to your wrists. Suction cup your fingertips. Cupcakes, like you've got little cupcakes under your hands. Pressing the earth away, lifting up through the core. 1 more breath in. Exhale, lower the knees. Lower the chest, untuck the toes, finding your cobra pose. On your belly, draw the fingertips in line with the chest. Tops of the feet press into the mat. Shrug the shoulders up towards the ears and then down the back as you lift your heart off the mat. Keep pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. Inhale, breath in. Exhale, breath out. Lower the forehead to the mat. Inhale again to cobra, lifting the heart, maybe coming up a little bit higher this time. Tops of the feet press into the mat. You can press into the hands just a little bit. Cobra pose. Exhale, lower. 2 breaths here. And 1 more cobra, inhaling, lifting the heart, pressing the earth away a little bit more, slight back bend here. Again, if this crunches your low back or hurts, you can stay down here and baby cobra or any height that feels appropriate for you. Tune into your breath, tune into your body, listen to that first. When you're ready, press it up and back to tabletop. Shift the hips over the heels, child's pose, 2 rounds of breath here. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees, send the hips back. Exhale, lengthen through the legs. Press your chest towards your thighs. Spin the biceps towards the front of the mat and press the mat away from you like you're trying to push it away. Feet are doing the same. Your feet are pressing the mat towards the back of the room, hands pressing the mat towards the front of the room, lifting through the tailbone. 1 more breath in. Look between your hands. Exhale, tiptoe towards the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to stand, roll the spine, press the feet into the mat. 1 vertebrae at a time. This time, hands come up overhead at the top. Little back bend here, press the hips forward, reach the heart up, hands reach behind. Exhale, cactus your arms, draw them elbows down to 90 degrees or lower. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, forward fold, dive forward. Halfway lift when you get to the bottom. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands. Step the feet back. Top of a plank. We won't be here long. Exhale, lower the knees. Lower the belly to the mat. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to child's pose. Inhale to downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, lift the tailbone, and press your chest towards your thighs. 2 more rounds of breath here. Fingertips spread wide. Bring that awareness back to your breath. Quiet the mind, focus the breath. And then inhale, lift the right heel up and back behind you. Exhaling, bringing it back down. One more time. Inhale, right heel up and back behind you. And then draw the knee underneath you towards your nose. Plant the right foot down on the mat. Spin that back heel down, warrior 1. Pressing into your feet to lift the upper body. Your back left toes are going to be facing an angle kind of towards the top edge of the mat. You might need to widen your stance for a little bit more stability. Try to keep both feet on the mat and bending into that front knee. Your chest and your hips are facing forward, squared towards the top of the mat. 1 breath in. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, cactus arms. Sink into that lunge a little bit more. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, reach over top, reaching over, bending forward, the chest over the thigh, and bring the hands back behind you. Stay here, or if you've got the space in your shoulders, clasp the hands behind the low back, draw them down, bringing the heart forward, and find your humble warrior. Lowering between the legs. Find your breath, reaching the arms up overhead, relaxing through the head and the neck. Press firmly through the feet. Don't forget to breathe. We'll be here for a couple more breaths. Press into the feet. Inhale to lift up. Release the hands. Bring the arms up overhead. And then exhale, bring the hands down on the inside of the leg. Spin that back heel up, maybe sending it back for your high lunge. Or your low lunge, rather, preparing for that high lunge. Keeping the left palm down on the mat, inhale the right arm up so you're twisting in towards your knee. Ground down through the lower body to inhale, lift yourself up, revolve, twist. Front knee is bent, back leg is long. Keep opening that right shoulder towards the back of the room. Inhale the left arm up, right hand comes back. And then exhale, slow cartwheeling your hands to frame your foot. Standing splits. Shift the weight forward onto that front foot. Begin to lift the left toes. Lower the chest over the thighs. Look back at your knee. Lifting from the inner thigh here. So I could lift my leg all the way up here, but then my hips are not grounded towards the mat or reaching towards the mat. So drop that left hip down a little bit. Lengthen through the spine. Release the head and the neck. 2 more breaths here. Slow, controlled breath. On your exhale, slowly lower that left foot to meet the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands. Step back to high plank. You can either lower all the way to the mat, or you can lower your knees. If you're going to take, we're going to either move to cobra or upward facing dog here. So if you're taking cobra, you know what to do. Lower the knees, lower the chest, lift the heart. For upward dog, lower all the way down, bending at the elbows. Untuck the toes. Lift the heart. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Scoot forward if you need to. Lift the thighs by pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. This is your upward dog. Open through the heart. Exhale to downward facing dog. Feel free to take a little stop in child's pose if you need a breath. 2 rounds of breath here. Meet us in downward facing dog whenever you're ready. When you're ready for the next side, inhale the left heel up and back behind you. Lower it back down. Inhale, reach it up and back. And then bend the knee, draw that left leg underneath you, plant that left foot between the hands. If that doesn't work for you, just put the foot down, heel toe it, walk it up however you need to get there. In our low lunge, spend a breath here. And then spin that back right heel down, ground down to inhale, lift up to your warrior one. Square your hips and your shoulders to the top of the mat. Relax the shoulders down the back, hands reach up. Sink into that lunge. Breathe here. And then inhale, lift up. Exhale, cactus your arms, sink down. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, sink down, elbows to 90 degrees. Inhale, reach it up. And then exhale, begin to fold over that front leg, reaching forward with the arms. Keep the chest over the thigh, reach the hands back behind you. And if you did so on the other side, clasp the hands at your low back, reach back. Finding your humble warrior. Arms can come up overhead as you slowly lower between the legs. Big deep breath in. Extend the exhale out. Just a couple more breaths. Focus the mind, focus the breath. And then press the feet into the mat, slowly begin to lift up. Release the hands, bring the arms up overhead. And exhale, bring both palms on the inside of the left foot. Bring that left heel back up for lunge. Taking a breath here. Plant the right hand, inhale, reach the left arm up. Twisting in towards your left knee. Preparing for our high lunge, ground down through the low body, strong in the feet, strong in the legs. Inhale, lift yourself up to revolve, twist. Left hand is facing the back of the mat. Right hand is facing forward. Pull that left shoulder open. One more breath in, reach the right arm up, left hand comes back. Exhale, cartwheel your hands slowly to frame your front foot, preparing for standing splits. Shift the weight forward until you're balancing on your left foot. Begin to lift the left leg up, lifting from the inner thigh here. So again, keep the hips parallel to the mat. Relax the head and the neck. Deep breaths in. Slow exhales out. One more inhale. Slowly release that right foot to meet the left on the exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands. Lower to the knees, or if you need a little bit more action, step it back to your high plank and take an upward dog. You're here in tabletop. Lower the chest between the thighs. Chin to the mat, inchworm. And then inhale, pull forward to your cobra. Breath in here as you pull your shoulders away. Exhale, we'll meet in child's pose. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Deep cleansing breath out through the mouth anytime you need it. Take a moment to recenter. Finding your breath. Finding yourself on your mat, in your space. This has become one of my favorite poses. Deceptionally simple. It's a posture of release and letting go, surrendering down. You don't have much control in this posture. Your gaze is down. Your hands are down. You're on your knees. It's not a pose that figuratively most of us enjoy being in, but often is necessary for taking steps towards change, self-reflection. Can be a painful posture, but again, necessary for that step of growth, that self-reflection, that tuning in, not seeing anything else around us and just accepting that here we are on the floor. And then from there, we can make change because we've heard, we've listened, we've felt. So on an inhale, slowly begin to bring yourself back to tabletop. Rinse it out with a few cat and cow poses if you need. Taking your time, recentering your focus before our next round of active movements, bringing change to the body and the mind through breath and movement. And when you're ready, find your downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the heels, send the hips back. Lengthen out through the legs. Look between the hands, tiptoe towards the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands. Step the right foot to the back of the mat and come to high lunge. Your back heel is lifted. Inhale, reach it up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach forward over the knee. Send the arms back behind you. We've been here before, finding those airplane arms. Inhale, reach it forward. Begin to shift the weight forward onto the left foot, finding warrior 3. Maybe you keep your toe down. Exhale, bring the hands to the mat. Standing splits, lifting the right heel. 2 more breaths here. Deep breath in. Exhale, slowly release those right toes to the mat. Spin the back heel down. Bring your hands to the inside of the left foot, and then begin to walk your hands towards the back of the mat, bending into that right knee, Skandasana. You can keep your hands here. Maybe bring the hands to heart center. Your right foot should be planted on the mat. So maybe you're up here today, and that's just fine. Same pose. Deep breath in. Breathing into the stretch in the left leg. Exhale it out. Walk the hands back towards the top of the mat, bending into that left knee. Spin the back heel up. Find your lizard pose. You can keep your back heel lifted, your back knee lifted, or you can lower the knee, untuck the toes. We'll be here for 3 or 4 rounds of breath. So maybe you want to grab a prop to help lower down or keep you lifted up a little bit higher. Deep hip stretch into that left hip. Let be what will be. Breathe into the body. Exhale out through the mind, releasing again any thoughts. Bring your awareness back to the breath and the body. One or 2 more inhales. Bring the hands back to the mat. Move any props that you might have used. And walk the hands back towards the knee, lengthening through the left leg. Finding modified half splits. So you notice my back is straight here. So if you're kind of curled over, bend the knee, walk the hands forward. However far you go back, your back should be straight here. We're working on lengthening the back of the leg. You could also put your hands on either side and shift all the way back to sitting on the heels if that works for you as well. So a couple different options here. Walking the hands back, lengthening through the spine. Hands on either side of your leg, shifting back, drawing that heel back. Or maybe you're just hanging out here with a really deep bend in your knee. That's fine. Working on the back of that leg. Just breathe. Find your breath. And then walk the hands forward, bringing that left leg back down, the left foot back down. Tuck the back toes, lift up. Send the left leg back, find your plank. Lower the knees, child's pose. 2 breaths. Exhale through open mouth, let it go. 1 more round of deep cleansing breath like that. Exhale out through the mouth. Find downward dog. Fingertips spread wide. Lift the hips. Press your chest towards the thighs. Look between the hands. Tiptoe towards the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant your hands. Step the left foot to the back of the mat. Finding high lunge. Back heels lifted. Inhale, ground down. Exhale, ground down deeper. Inhale, reach it up, arms up. Settle in. Pull the left hip forward, the right hip back. Reach the arms up a little bit more, sink into that lunge. Inhale to lift. Exhale, reach it forward, chest over your thighs. Bring those arms back. Maybe coming to warrior three, pressing the weight forward, coming up onto your right foot, lifting the left. Creating a T shape with the body. Maybe you're here. And then stepping that left foot back. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, plant your hands on the inside of the right foot. Walk the hands over the left side of the mat as you bend into the back left knee, coming to Skandasana. So at the back of your mat, your left knee is bent, right toes are up. Maybe you're here. Wherever you're at, breathe. Sending the breath to the back of the right leg. One more breath in. Stay for the exhale. Walk the hands back towards the top of the mat. Finding lizard pose. You can lower the knee if you did so on the other side. Grabbing your prop if you need it. 3 or 4 rounds of breath here in lizard. Allow yourself to hear your breathing, your background music, the ocean breath, the waves of fresh air coming in, releasing your exhales through the nose, washing it out. On your next inhale, bring the knee towards the elbow and walk the hands back, finding your half splits. Right toes come up. Remember to keep the spine long. And again, you can walk your hands on either side of your leg if that's more comfortable. You can shift the hips back all the way over the heels. I personally have to stay right here on this side, so this is my practice, my breath. Find the spot that works best for you. Best for the back of your leg, that hamstring, calf behind the knee. Keep pulling that right hip back and your left hip forward. You'll feel the stretch definitely that way. Keep the jaw relaxed. 2 more breaths here. And then inhale, walk the hands forward, plant that foot down, tuck the back toes. And we're going to go back and finish up the thing we forgot on this side. So coming back to your high lunge, press down into the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And then drop that left arm forward, right arm back, twisting open towards the right side of the room. So you're twisting in towards your knee. Left arm forward, right arm back. Opening through the chest. Drop that right hand, lift the left arm. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to frame your front foot. Step that right foot back to plank. Lower to cobra or up dog. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, child's pose. And here we'll be for 3 or 4 more rounds of breath. Again, settling in, releasing what needs to be released. You can bring your hands around behind you, tops of the hands facing the mat, palms up next to your feet. You can even widen your knees here if you need a little extra space. Maybe taking a few rounds of cleansing breaths out and in. And from here, we're going to take rapid pose. So bring the knees together, extend the arms back where they were. Begin to grab your heels. Okay? So once you've got your heels, bring your forehead to the mat. And on inhale, we're going to lift our hips, pull our feet, and roll to the crown of the head. So keep the weight in your head light. You shouldn't be dumping into your neck. Press the feet away as you pull with your hands. You should feel stretch in the backs of the shoulder blades, the upper back. Breathe deeply. Keep pressing the heels into the hands, lifting up through the hips. One more breath in. Exhale, lower. Bring the hands out in front of you, child's pose. Deep breath in. Long, slow exhale. And we'll take a rabbit one more time. Bringing the hands back behind you, grabbing your heels. Roll to the top of the head as you push your heels into your hands, lifting through the hips, finding the stretch in the backs of the shoulders. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Keep the weight in the head light. One more breath in. Exhale, lower the hips, release the hands. Take a couple breaths of rest. We're going to begin to inhale and sit up. We're going to make our way to Sphinx pose. So lowering onto our bellies, forearms in line, 90-degree angle from the shoulder to the elbow to the wrists. Tops of the feet pressing into the mat. Press the pubic bone into the mat. Lift the heart. Pull the shoulders back as if you're pulling that mat back towards your elbows. So drawing the mat back, pulling the heart between the shoulders. Slight gaze forward. Inhale, look up. Exhale, tuck the chin. Inhale, look up. Keep pressing the pelvis into the mat. Exhale, look down. And then just keep a neutral gaze straight in front of you. Finding a meditative moment. One or two more breaths here. When you're ready to release, press into the forearms to lift the back. Begin to bring the knees underneath you. Finding a straight line from your hips to your knees, making our way to puppy pose. So for puppy, again, we're going to keep our hips over our knees. Keep that butt up in the air. Pretend you're wagging your tail like a play bow. Lower the chest to the mat. Or if that's too much, you can grab a couple props underneath you if you can't make it all the way down. This is a big shoulder opener, so if you've got tense shoulders, take your time, go easy. Reach the hands wide for a little bit easier or less intense, I should say. Or you can walk your hands forward to feel a little bit more tension, release. Take a few minutes to get yourself set up. Hips stay up, forehead, chin, nose to the mat. 3 or 4 rounds of breath here. Tune into the breath. And then to make your way out, bend at the elbows, walk the hands back underneath you. Press yourself to lift up. Take a couple rounds of cat and cow. And then we'll begin to wag the tail. So press the hips towards the left, gaze over your right shoulder as if you're catching your tail. And then switch sides, pressing the right hips out, gazing over your left shoulder, finding that side body stretch. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, looking over your right. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, looking over your left. Feel free to continue with those movements. Any other stretches, movements in this tabletop posture that might feel good. Lowering the hips to the earth, maybe looking up. Back to child pose. Maybe just staying still and spending another couple moments bringing the breath awareness back to mind. When you feel satisfied, come back to your tabletop. Extend the right leg long and the left arm forward. Bend at the knee and reach back for that foot. Maybe you can grasp it. If you can't, that's okay. Just keep reaching for the foot and drawing that left heel in. If you've got your foot, begin to lift up through the thigh, opening through the shoulder. Keep the weight even in the right and left side. Breathe. Lift up and open. Exhale, slowly release, no slingshots. Extend the left arm and the right foot long and then place them back on the mat. And we'll switch sides. Extend the left leg long, reach the right arm forward. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, bend the knee, reach around with that right arm, grabbing the left foot. If you can. If you can't, that's fine. You're at where you're at. Acceptance is part of this process. The more you practice, the more you'll see some change. Sometimes not in the ways that we want or expect. If you've got your foot, lift up, open the heart, find your balance, find a spot to focus on. One more breath in. Slowly release. Lengthen through the leg and the arm before placing them back down on the mat. Take a cat and cow. And then shift the hips over the heels, finding hero pose. Bring the hands to heart center. Close the eyes, drop the gaze. Feel the heartbeat against the thumbs, the rise and fall of the chest. And take inventory of the body. Notice if there's any difference in how you feel or think from when you began practice this morning or this afternoon or whenever, whatever time it is where you are sharing this space with us. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale, release your hands. Shift the hips to one side and bring the soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana or bound angle pose. Holding on to the ankles or the shins. Inhale, lift the chest, open the heart, look up. Exhale, curl the spine, press the back towards the back of the room, tucking the chin. Inhaling back to center. 2 breaths here. Keep lengthening through the spine. Keep pressing the knees down. And then exhale, begin to walk the hands forward, maybe folding over your legs, maybe not. Maybe you stay here. Keep pressing the feet together. Keep lengthening through the spine. And then release the head and the neck. Chest drops towards, or your chin drops towards your chest. Relax the belly, relax the legs. Inhale to sit back up. And extend the legs long out in front of you for forward fold. Moving any flesh out of the way. You want your sitting bones directly in contact with the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, relax the shoulders. Look up, heart comes forward, belly comes towards your thighs, release the hands. Find your forward fold, draw your toes towards the back, towards your face. Maybe your knees lift a little off the mat. Keep the back straight, deep inhale. Exhale, fold. You can slowly allow the upper back to melt forward over your knees. Use your breath to lengthen and deepen. Two more rounds of deep breathing here. And inhale, slowly begin to sit up. Bend your knees until your feet are on the mat. And take some windshield wipers, dropping the knees to one side and then the other. Massaging out the glutes, the low back. And then coming back to center, scoot all the way towards the top of your mat so your feet are at the top. And wrap your arms around your knees and slowly roll on your back and begin to build some momentum. Rolling on one side and then the other, rolling out each side of the spine. And then slowly allowing yourself to rock into stillness on the mat. Bring the feet back down and take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. Find your props, which hopefully are right next to you. We're preparing for a heart opener onto our back. So take if you've got different levels, different thicknesses, you want something firm underneath your low back. If not, you can there's a couple options here, so I'll give you a few options. If you've got more than two props, take the third one, and bring it between the shoulder blades, and grabbing your other props here. You can prop a second one under your head. So you're set up with your heart lifted, your head comfortably on the pillow, and then you must slowly allow the knees to open, bringing the soles of the feet together. If this is too much for the hips, you can take props underneath your knees. And maybe use the third one as a pillow. Maybe not. It will depend on where you're at. Maybe you've got an extra prop that looks like a pet, giving you a little comfort. You're towards the end of our practice here, settling down, allowing that energy to melt into the earth. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Soften through the knees and the hips, the back of the heart space. Begin to relax the breathing. Soften through the jaw. Relax through the fingertips. Maybe taking a gentle rocking of the head, looking left and right. Stretching through the neck. And bring the head back to center, gaze straight ahead. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead, dragging them on the floor if you need. Taking a big stretch, point the fingertips. Press the feet together. And exhale, bringing the arms back down next to you. You're welcome to stay in this posture for Shavasana, our last pose. Or if you'd like to extend the legs long, remove or fix any props to get yourself into a comfortable spot. We're going to find some rest and peace for the body and the mind for another few moments. Take a few minutes or a few seconds to get yourself set up. And then just release down. Close the eyes. Release the awareness of the breath. Let yourself drift away. I'll let you know when it's time to reawaken. Slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your body, laying on the mat, your presence in your space. Begin to slowly wiggle the fingers and the toes awake. And take another big stretch, reaching up overhead. Exhaling the knees into the chest. And gently rock the knees left and right. And then lower the knees to one side. And gently press yourself up to sit at the top of the mat. Any comfortable seat will do. Inhale the palms together at heart center. And gaze down at the fingertips. We'll take a deep breath in together. Open mouth, exhale out. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. And may our thoughts, words, and actions in some way contribute to that happiness and to the freedom of us all. Take a deep breath into the mantra. Exhale, release the mantra, and as we release our practice today, may you be inspired to take that practice off the mat into whatever you have planned for the rest of your day and your week. I look forward to seeing you on the virtual mat next time. Thank you.